Well, Jason, I would imagine if we were sat here sort of 8 months ago and saying 4 points inside the playoffs with 4 games left to go, you'd have been a pretty happy man.
Yeah, look, like you say, we've put ourselves in a good position. But Classic Championship, there's probably about 5 or 6 teams who still fancy themselves as well. So still 4 games to go, like you say. So we got to take it individually, and that's a big game against Sunderland on Friday.
Yeah. And it is, the whole mantra is very much one game at a time, and that's exactly the right thing. But it must be nice not having to chase for once, knowing that actually you've got the points on the board at the moment, and it's other teams that are going to have to do better than you to get above you.
Well, 100%. But as soon as you stand still in this game, you'll be found wanting. So we know we've got to keep our standard and keep up on the levels we show in games, and ultimately get the results we need. So that's what we're going to try and do on Friday and Monday as well.
Yeah. You've obviously been a big part of the team for a little bit now. Where do you think you're better than maybe this time last year as a group?
Well, I think time tells. We've had a bigger time now with the gaffer and the staff, and I think everyone's starting to see the way we want to play and the characteristics of this team. But it's just doing that on a more consistent basis that we probably haven't done previous. So it's good to see the results backing that up as well, and ultimately that's what's important. So I think we're showing some good progress in all aspects of our game, but there's definitely loads to improve as well.
Yeah, which is the exciting thing. But I think you're right, it's the consistency. At the moment, I think the fans are turning up knowing that they're going to see a performance from you. They're not worried that it won't be a no-show effectively.
Well, yeah, and look, there's always days where you're not at the level, and there has been days this season, but more often than not, we got to make sure our standards at a certain level, and to be fair, the crowd have helped us with that, especially the last few games at home have been really, really behind us, and we're going to need them now for a big end of the season.
I was going to say about the home form, because you look at you're right up there with the very best in the whole league. It must be fun running out at Ashton Gate at the moment. No,
it's definitely a place we enjoy playing now. It's certainly used to it, the pitch, and it suits us well, but we got to keep that going. There's no point in saying we've had a good season now and there's still 4 games to go, or 2 games at home anyway. So we want to continue that and finish at home strong, and like I said, that starts on Friday.
Yeah, and those scenes at the end of the West Brom game. I mean, I'm sure there'll be moments, individual bits from this season that you'll remember, but that I would imagine would live long in the memory.
Yeah, 100%, and even for the fans as well. They're games and moments you don't really forget. So it was great to score one of those last minute winners. Because we've been on the wrong side of them a few times, so it was nice to get that. And I think in that game, the overall performance sort of warranted that result as well. So it was definitely a good game, and it was obviously a tough game in different aspects of QPR on the weekend, but a good point. So it sets us up nicely for the next 4 games.
And individually for you, I think obviously being involved in every single game, is that you. Every now and again, I think sometimes you should get a rest because you do so much running, but I get the feeling you wouldn't be a big fan of that.
No. I'm happy. I've played a lot of games this season, and I'm happy to do that. And obviously, I need to keep performing myself and look after my own performances to warrant to get a position. But like I said, there's no point in resting now. There's only a few games left, so everyone's raring to go and ready to get out there.
Yeah, and individually, it does seem like you're right that you're much more cohesive as a unit, but you individually, I think, have made a big step up even from last season.
Well, I appreciate it. No, I think definitely I've got to give the staff and the manager definitely some credit with that. They've helped me improve massively, more behind the scenes, probably tactically and how to view the game from maybe a bit of a deeper position, more so this season. And I definitely had more of an impact on games, which I'm happy with, but there's still more to come, like goals and assists, and really adding that to my game as well.
So I think I know the answer to the question before I ask you, but it's never stopped me before. 4 games to go. Do you have an idea of what it's going to take to get you where you want to be, which is in that top 6 come the final day?
Look, there's maybe different ways it can go, but especially in the Championship, you don't know which way it's going to go. Teams come out of nowhere and they hit a good run of form, and you've got to pick up 3 wins out of 4, or even 4. So it's probably going to go at the end of the season. So we've got to make sure we're at it as well, and make sure we pick up more points than the teams around us ultimately.
Yeah. And recently you've been playing a lot of the teams around you in the table at Ashton Gate. Another example of that, obviously, on Friday against Sunderland, who are exactly where you want to be. They've guaranteed their place in the playoffs, and it's going to be a tough test.
100%. They're a really good team and in good form, and have had a great season so far. So it's it's definitely going to be a tough test. We didn't think anything other than that. But like I say, it is two good teams going at each other, and hopefully we want to go out there and get the good result.
Thank you very much.
Jason, Liam mentioned after the Watford game how he thinks you've grown as a captain behind the scenes. I just want to ask you, from your point of view, how you think you've adapted to the role in your first full season.
It's been good. I've enjoyed it. It's obviously a huge honour to captain the club, and it's a position I've had before. I was here. I've captained a few times at my previous club as well, so I know it quite well. And to be fair, I've got a big help off the senior lads here as well, Rob and Nicky and other lads as well. So it's not been seamless, but it's been good. I've enjoyed the challenge, and hopefully it's more about me performing as well. That try and lead by example first and foremost as well, which helps.
Just from the outside looking at it, it does seem like a really close group. Would you agree with that? Like the scenes after the goal against West Brom kind of show that you've got subs who've been running their legs off all game, running down the wing. It does feel like a really close group.
No, 100%. It's a really good group. Even since when I come in here, lads are all really close, and got a great group. All good lads around the dressing room as well when they're not playing, because that's difficult as well. But everyone's played their part this season as well, so we just got to make sure it stays that way till the end of the season.
Obviously, Joe's kind of slotted in alongside you last few months, probably since we last spoke to you. What sort of impact does he have? Because he does seem to bring this extra sort of edge in the middle of the park sometimes. Yeah,
definitely. I think you're right. The word edge is Joe as well. He brings that bit of bite and tenacity in midfield, which is great. And he's performed really, really well this season when he's played. He's obviously had a couple of injuries and stuff and whatnot, but when he's played, he's brought that little bit of edge to the game, and is a massive player for us as well.
And ahead of you, George Earthy and Max Bird at the moment playing some really special stuff. That must be like delightful for you when you're just behind them and you've got both of those players to hit.
100%. I think George is obviously in a really good run of form at the moment, with goals and performances. So long may that continue. And obviously Birdie as well. I've known Birdie obviously a long time, and I know the quality he has, and he's really starting to show it as well this year.
Liam's just mentioned Mark Sykes' injury. Obviously someone you're close with, I imagine, with club and international relations. Must be gutted for him on a personal level as well as captain.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm obviously really, really close with Mark. It's obviously a blow for him, because he was in good form as well. He was a big part of us, but injuries happen. That's life. You got to move on, and Mark will be back. But other players got to step up now as well. So it's everyone ready for a big end of the season.
Is that challenge, isn't it, of stepping up and keep going? For you on a personal note, how do you feel having played so many games? Do you feel fit and as fit as you did at the start of the season?
No, yeah, probably fitter. I just roll into games really now. It's been good. I think it's gave me that sort of consistency. Hopefully playing well more so, which helps. But I just got to keep going. There's obviously only a few weeks left, so like I say, there's no point in getting tired now.
How much can you take from the game up at the Stadium of Light? Because it was obviously a disappointing end, but a really competitive match. Yeah,
it was. To be fair, I think probably both teams have changed quite a bit since then. But it was obviously a tough game, getting the goal, and then they put a bit of pressure on towards the end as well, which is what they're about. So I don't expect anything different. It's going to be a really tough test, and they've got their threats, but we've got to make sure we're at it as well.
Just finally for me, obviously we mentioned how good the crowd have been at home in recent weeks. If you had a message for them heading into this final stretch and tomorrow's game, what would that be?
We'll just continue what they've been doing. Obviously, we'll try and do our bit as well, obviously, but continue getting behind the lads and supporting and driving us on, because it's a massive help and something we're going to need going forward.
Cheers, Jason.
And Jason, we've just been talking to Liam about the interactions he's having with supporters and whether he's feeling that buzz and excitement from them as well. If we're going to ask you the same question, how is it when you're out and about around the city at the moment? Because fans are incredibly excited about the football.
Of course they are, and that's great for them. But we've obviously got to be professional. We've got to keep us on a level head, and just kind of roll into games and try and do the best we can. There's no point in getting ahead of ourselves or thinking anything like that. We've just got to go out there and perform and try and get a good result each game when it comes.
Is it difficult to do that though? Because obviously Liam mentioned it as well. The club hasn't been in this kind of position for quite a long time. Yeah,
well, I wouldn't say it's difficult. We're just footballers at the end of the day. We're not bothered what happens outside the realms of what we can control. And obviously there is excitement and there's excitement within the squad, but we've got to make sure that we're played at a certain level that demands results and performances that ultimately gets the outcomes you want. But we've got to make sure we're on our level first.
Best luck.